See, people are joining. Hello, welcome to Thought Snob Live. I'm your host, Paula Swope. This show is all about non-traditional pathways for success and out of the ordinary living. And so if that sounds like that's up your alley, I think you're going to enjoy our conversation today. And if you will just keep tapping that screen and liking this live so it gets pushed out to as many people as possible, that would be great, because the topic that we're on today is about how to deal with the a-holes that you might encounter over the holiday season. If any of you have that issue or you can relate to that, let me know in the comments. It was the story of my life for many years, and I will be teaching you how to not accept abuse, not take abuse from anybody just because it's freaking Christmas. No. Okay? We're going to get down to the nitty gritty here. And the more stories that you share, the better. I don't have a guest today. I usually have a guest, but when I do these teaching workshop type live shows, I just prefer to teach and not have a co-host or a guest, and so it's just us today. And I'm going to be teaching you some strategies that you can use during the holidays. That's the focus, but these are sustainable practices that you can use in all facets of life on any day of the week. It doesn't have to be a holiday. And it's just, I'm showing you how to take away a person's power who has gotten very comfortable with insulting and abusing you. And I'm going to be teaching straight out of my book, Thought Snob, The Modern Spiritual Playbook for a Better Life. If you don't have a copy yet, it's available on Amazon in 3 formats. And I got to tell you, I'm doing a Christmas giveaway right now. You can win $1,000. If I get, and it's just, all you got to do is buy the book, give me an Amazon review, and if you've already bought the book and you haven't given me a review, give me a review, and that's how you throw your hat in the ring, and I'll do a random drawing on Christmas Day. You'll receive $1,000. The only one little thing you need to know here, my goal is to get 10,000 Amazon reviews by Christmas Eve. If I reach that goal, I will draw a name randomly, award the $1,000. If I don't get the 10,000 reviews by Christmas Eve, I will keep the contest going, the competition going, until I reach 10,000 reviews, and then I'll draw a name and give away the $1,000 cash prize, okay? So now let's get down to the topic at hand. So who with me right now anticipates maybe having a bit of a struggle with some family members or friends or whoever it may be over the holidays? Are any of you anticipating any contention or arguments or awkwardness? Is it something that you deal with year after year after year, or maybe it's somebody new? Oh, there's Clyde. Hey, Clyde. So drop it in the comments. Just curious about what everyone's situations are, because they're always different. And if you have read my book, then you know that I had some challenging Christmases. Okay, so I'm going to kick off, and today's topic is you don't ever accept abuse just because it's Christmas. You don't let anybody buy with their bullshit just because it's Christmas, okay? Sage, my voice is really different, and that's why people always judge me and things get a bit weird. Well, honey, let me tell you, if you listen to me, people either love my accent or they hate it. I don't know if you're talking about like your accent, or might want to give me a little more clarification on that, and I'll try to help you with that in just a minute if I can. All right, today's topic, no abuse at Christmas, no excuse for abuse at Christmas, should be no excuse ever, but we're going to focus on the holidays today, all right? And I made some notes so that I would stay on track. I want to make the most of our time together because I've got some really really good information and some really, really great tools to pass along to you. And I just really feel like they will help you tremendously, all right? Now, this live is not for you. This teaching is not for you. None of my work is for you. If everything is perfect in your world and everybody treats you respectfully and you have everything you want and your parents are perfect and your friends are perfect and all your family's perfect and it's just perfect all the time. If that's the case with you, then don't waste your time on this live, because that's not my target audience, okay? My target audience struggles with people and needs coping mechanisms and all the support that they can get to keep their cool around people who are disrespectful, okay? All right, like Clyde says, I quit my family and all their functions in result of what you've been speaking of 14 years now. That's what I'm talking about. Same. All right, I'm just going to kick off by saying the holidays are no different than any other day when it comes to your ability and your right to enjoy your life, protect your peace, do what you want to do, and get what you want, okay? Think about that. Now, the same rules should apply every day. No one should be allowed to violate your boundaries and disrespect you on any day of the week. Don't accept abuse just because it's Christmas. Don't do things that make you miserable just because it's Christmas, okay? And so all of you who are commenting, give me just a second. I'm going to get into the teaching piece of this, and then I'll stop and I will answer any questions or comments that you have, okay? So this Thought Snob Live episode is dedicated to helping you see the truth about the holiday season. So you can basically show everybody who's freaking boss, okay? Because if they've forgotten that, they need a reminder. So I'm going to give you tools and resources to help you not only deal with disrespectful behaviors, but also conquer them. You just break these crazy cycles, all right? Now, when we're done here, you'll know how to teach people how to treat you. And you can't afford to be complacent when it comes to your peace, because your peace or lack of it trickles down to impact your entire health and well-being. And when you dig right down to the core of it, what's going to serve you best, I see people asking questions about manifesting their SP, manifestation questions. When you get right down to it, if you don't feel well, you're not going to manifest what you want. All of this is, everything I'm about to teach you is connected to conscious creation. You got to feel good. And I'm giving you strategies so that you can feel good. If you are going to manifest anything that you want, you've got to feel well. And if you aren't peaceful, then you are going to attract the opposite of peace. And what is that? Chaos, turmoil, trouble, drama, bullshit. I don't know of anybody that prefers that over peace. So, moving forward. And I said just a second ago, I am teaching straight from my book, Thought Snob, The Modern Spiritual Playbook for a Better Life. If you don't have a copy, it's available on Amazon in 3 formats, all right? So, no matter what your situation is, there are no judgments here. No judgments coming from me, because I have more than likely been in your shoes, and no matter who you are, you have messed up family members and energy vampires lurking around somewhere. And like I said earlier, if you don't, then probably no need to waste your time listening to me today. So if you're like I used to be, those people make your life a living hell. And I'm going to teach you how to take away their power. They do not need to have that kind of power over you, okay? Nothing feels better than that. Nothing feels better than taking away people's power who have been used to treating you like shit. It's the best feeling in the world when you can remain cool, calm, and collected in the presence of someone who's always been comfortable with disrespecting and abusing you. That's power. And those people absolutely cannot survive in your presence. When you get to that badass level, they don't know what to do. I'm telling you, they don't. All right, so my trademarked Thought Snob concept is built on approaching life through an objective lens. Now, that's just a fancy way of saying to look at the truth. In every situation, look at the truth. Snob stands for see new objective beliefs. Now, most people jump to conclusions without any proof. And they allow their thoughts to create, a crazy story, that just spirals. It gives false meaning to situations. Now, I used to be the queen of this madness, and I broke the cycle by looking at the truth versus the subjective opinions that had corroded my subconscious mind, okay? We're talking about meaning making here, all right? If you've never thought about this before, my little talk right here has the potential to legit change your life, like not joking. So hang in there with me, all right? So let's start with some truths about the holidays. I want to start here because this is going to help you create an awareness around some things, and awareness is the foundation of all change. And so I want you to develop an awareness of what I'm about to talk about here, okay? And view this newfound awareness as like self-care ammo, because it's a weapon to protect your energy in any situation, all right? So here are some truths about the holidays to keep in mind, all right? Number one, your experiences during the holidays are determined by the meaning you make of the holidays, all right? You have a meaning-making algorithm. Have you ever heard that before? Meaning-making algorithm. Mark says, why does this say it's sponsored? I have no idea why this says that it is sponsored. Meaning-making algorithm. All right, our meaning-making algorithms, all of us have them. And those come from how we're subconsciously programmed over an entire lifetime. All right? The meaning we make of the world impacts how we interpret situations. Now, here's a personal example to demonstrate this, all right? I have a friend who's engaged to this guy that I've known him for decades. I mean, at this point, he's really like family to me. Hang on. Willow's Mom Shops. I haven't seen you in a long time on here. You've grown so much since I watched your last videos. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad to have you today. Thanks for joining. I've come a long way. You are correct. So anyway, this personal story I'm telling. So I've known this guy for years. He's like family, always had a good relationship. And a few years ago, make a really long story short, I started noticing when I would try to talk to him, have a conversation with him, he just like straight up ignored what I was saying. And I was a little baffled by it, because he always, was just such a friendly person that you never second guess how he was going to treat you. He was always the same, but he just started coming off as very kind of chilly and aloof. And I made a meaning of that because it pissed me off, and it kind of, hurt my feelings. And the meaning that I made of it was, well, he just must not respect women enough to listen to what they have to say. And I came up with all sorts of things, and my feelings towards him changed because I was pissed off at his behavior. This went on a long time. Like I bitched about it to a lot of people. Last year, this is where meaning making comes into play and how it can totally screw us over. Last year, I found out that he is just about deaf. Like, he has almost lost all of his hearing, and he doesn't want anybody to know that. He's embarrassed. And I learned that you have to look him dead in the face and talk to him for him to know that you're talking to him. Because if you're over here and he can't see you, he can't hear you. That's why he was treating me that way. And the meaning that I made of him ignoring me, that's the meaning I made of it, was something, hateful. It really didn't make any sense. And then I found out the truth of the situation. And he wasn't mad at me. He didn't disrespect me. It wasn't anything like that at all. It's because he lost his hearing. He's almost deaf. So, just giving you that example to go by, because sometimes the meaning that we make of things isn't the truth. Kay, where are you from? It happens. I'm a part of a Swope family. Cool. Well, I'm from I live in Kentucky. I live in Prospect, Kentucky now. That's in Jefferson County. I moved here in 2015, but I was born and raised in the eastern part of the state. I was born in Lexington, Kentucky, and then moved to Madison County. And so you'll have to tell me, where you're from. Okay. Anyway, so back to meaning. Think about if you struggle with your family and your friends and people at the holidays because of disrespectful behavior, toxic environments, insults, and all that shit that nobody should have to tolerate or endure, period. What is the meaning that you're making of the holidays? I just want you to think about that for a moment while I'm talking here, and think about, is your meaning based on the truth? Okay, what is the truth of your situation when it comes to the holidays? What is your meaning-making algorithm around the holidays and your role in the holidays and how people should treat you? Okay, we filter everything that happens through our mental meaning-making algorithm, which we've subconsciously programmed over our entire lifetime. Sacred Path Warrior, I enjoyed your Audible book so much. I'm better than what I've put up with. Thought Snob here. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm getting ready to teach the mantra, I'm better than that. So thank you for chiming in with that comment. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, every experience that you've ever had has programmed your meaning-making algorithm. Every failure, success, trauma, insight, every movie you've watched, every album you've heard, every book you've read, everything your parents, teachers, friends, anyone has ever told you, everything your culture has taught you about who you are and how the world works has been programming your meaning-making machine that you use every day. But here's the kicker. It's probably not the truth. And I'm going to give you another example of how this works. I have always had a fear of flying on an airplane, and I am telling you that my fear of flying started with the movie La Bamba. If you haven't seen La Bamba, it's a brilliant movie about the life story of Richie Valens, and Lou Diamond Phillips played him. And Richie Valens had this lifelong fear. It was almost more like a phobia of being unalived in an airplane crash. I don't know what words I'm allowed to use on TikTok these days. They've gotten so strict. But the moment I watched that movie, I associated flying in an airplane with a worst case scenario. The movie Sweet Dreams, The Life of Patsy Cline, reiterated that meaning because the same thing happened to Patsy Cline. Those were two of my favorite movies during childhood, and they shaped my meaning-making algorithm for freaking life. Here's the truth. Here's the truth of that situation. I have taken many, many, many flights. I've never had a bad flight. Like, really, ever. I've had frustrating experiences with airports and flight delays, been uncomfortable with turbulence while being in the air, but never anything that remotely resembled worst case scenario. But each time I get on an airplane, I still have that moment when I think about Richie Valens and Patsy Cline. Meaning making algorithms can make our lives to live in hell or heaven on earth. It's up to for us to decide that, okay? That's why I want to draw your attention to this, all right? Because this is going to really, really help you deal with any drama that you run into over the holidays, okay? And yes, you are correct. I am reading a script that I wrote so that I stay on topic, because I only have an hour here with you. And so I have a ton of notes, and I don't want to forget anything, okay? So the second truth that I want to bring an awareness to, that I want you to think about, and it's a harsh truth that will, I think, significantly enhance your quality of life, okay? If someone treats you like garbage most of the time, that person will not treat you better just because it's Christmas. I have to say that to you again. If someone in your life treats you like garbage most of the time, they are not going to treat you any better just because it's Christmas. As a matter of fact, toxic, abusive people usually behave worse during the holidays. There's no truer statement ever than misery loves company. These people are not happy. They're never going to be happy. So they're going to use what itty bitty tiny little power that they've got to try to make everybody around them unhappy. Don't let them do it. Take away their power. And I'm getting ready to give you some strategies to teach you how to take away their power. There can be a room full of happy people, and one toxic, pissed off a-hole in that room can come in and make everybody miserable. It's the most powerful thing that I have seen. But their power lies in how everybody in the room reacts, all right? We're getting ready to get in on how you can not react, because there are two ways to remove these toxic people's power. The first one, disassociate entirely. That's my personal favorite. Just disassociate entirely. I understand. It's not always feasible to do that. If you have to associate, stop setting expectations for how you think they should behave. You got to stop with the expectations. Those expectations come from that meaning-making algorithm. If you believe that an abusive person will completely change who they are and be respectful, kind, loving, compassionate, just because it's Christmas, you're playing yourself. You're setting yourself up for disaster. I've done this, and it ended in gut-wrenching disappointment every single time. That's the truth. You got to look at the truth. You're dealing with a toxic person. You're dealing with disrespect. You're dealing with abuse. They're not going to treat you any better just because it is Christmas or New Year's Eve or Thanksgiving or whatever. When I was in the dating world, in relationships that just resembled legit hell on earth, I thought that these men would suddenly be compassionate and loving and kind when Valentine's Day rolled around. No, that never happened. It's just another day. You got to demand respect every single day, okay? Keith Jackson, if someone comes to my house and shows disrespect, I will kindly show them the door. Good for you, my friend. That's what you should do. That's what you should do. Okay, so back to the expectations. Just stop with the expectations and focus on setting expectations for yourself. That's the only person you can control, yourself. You can't control anyone. So set expectations for your behavior when you're provoked, okay? And you know what that feels like. And this starts with awareness. Be prepared so that you can be proactive, which gives you a major advantage because you're less likely to react. Now think about this. If you don't react when you're provoked, well, what happens? The person provoking you has no power, and if they can't provoke you, they will eventually stop trying, okay? There's nothing in it for them if they can't upset you. I mean, that's what they're after. Go back to misery loves company, okay? Lazo Toth, did you not get my comment inquiry? No, not yet. I have been in the teaching portion of this little show here, and I'm going to get to everybody's questions and comments in just a few minutes, okay? So just give me just a few minutes, because any questions or that you have as I go through this over the next, 10 minutes or so, I'll probably answer a lot of the questions that you have. And so if there's anything remaining, then we'll just do that one-on-one when I'm done with my little spiel here, okay? Okay, so back to getting prepared for these people, these energy vampires, all right? So you need to get prepared so that you're less likely to react, all right? Now, leading up to Christmas or whatever day you gather with your family and friends to celebrate the holiday, I want you to envision a typical scenario of your energy vampire, okay? Get a clear vision of what might happen, and then imagine how you would like the situation to play out, all right? Do this daily leading up to your holiday celebration, and by the time you get there, you'll be more energetically and emotionally resilient. It is so powerful when you do that. And you can use something that happened in the past, and maybe it was an episode where someone insulted you and you became very embarrassed, and you didn't stand up for yourself, or you didn't behave the way you would have wanted to behave. You just weren't prepared for that, right? You just were not freaking prepared. So envision that you can use that same scenario or something similar, but then envision yourself behaving the way you would have wanted to have behaved, okay? It works, but you got to do it every single day, okay? Envision that every day, and by the time you get in front of these people that trigger you, you are going to be way more powerful than what they can handle, all right? And have a good time with it. Now, while you're at your holiday event, I want you to use the mantra that I teach in my book, Thought Snob, The Modern Spiritual Playbook for a Better Life. You get 7 bougie behaviors in this book that greatly enhance the quality of your life. And one of those bougie behaviors is to think this mantra. And the mantra is, I am better than that. I am better than that. And right now, in this moment, I want every single person that's with me right now, you can say it out loud or just think it or write it down. If you're in an environment, you don't have any privacy, write it down, think it silently, say it out loud, whatever you want to do, but say it, think it, write it. I am better than that. I am better than that. This is another exercise in mindful awareness. Okay? I am better than that. The more you repeat that mantra, the faster your subconscious accepts it as your new truth. Keep thinking about it. Keep saying it. I am better than that. Okay? And when you see that a-hole coming at you, think to yourself, I'm better than that. All right? Got to keep that in mind, all right? Okay, third truth for you. Here is an absolute truth. Your free will is more powerful than anybody in the room. If you use it to your advantage, you got to use it to your advantage. So before you make any decisions when you're in a toxic environment, behave mindfully and ask yourself, what can I do to bring about the most peace for me right now? And whatever comes to mind, do that. Okay? Now, here's my last one, my last truth for you, and then we'll get in on answering your questions and stuff, because that's my favorite part anyway. Okay, last one, number 4. And this one is for those of you who experience a lot of humiliation when you're around certain groups of people. Oh my God, that was always my biggest fear, my biggest source of anxiety. Because I was socialized in an environment and around people that used humiliation as a tool, even a disciplinarian tool. And I had so much freaking humiliation trauma. Oh my God, it was terrible. It makes me sick to even think about it. So this one is for those of you who go into situations knowing that someone is going to embarrass the living damn daylights out of you. But I'm going to help you put a stop to that bullshit right now, okay? You need to have go-to statements ready for the people who always make a point to single you out and insult you. And you know who they are. I bet somebody immediately popped in your mind when I said that. You know who these people are. And since you know who they are, you can probably pretty accurately gauge what they may say to you and how they will say it, okay? So when they make an insulting remark, and they usually try to, play it off as a joke, it's not a joke. So fire back with something that they don't expect, all right? Here's a scenario. They say something insulting to you. Remain calm. Again, you got to practice this in order to remain calm. I used to not be able to remain calm. I can now. Remain calm, look them in the eye contact, and when they insult you, say, do you feel better now? Having said that to me, do you feel better? And then don't say another word. Just look at them, okay? So there's one go-to statement to put in your pocket, all right? Now here's another one. This one will throw them completely off their game. Very calmly ask them, what did you mean by that? Keep eye contact, remain calm, and don't say another word. Whoever speaks next after you say that loses power. Just look at them. What did you mean by that? Throws them completely off their game. Now, these are just hypothetical scenarios. You can switch the language up, okay? But these are good statements for you to work with, all right? Here's another one for you to try. You got to remain calm, though. Remain calm, all right? Someone insults you, somebody humiliates you, somebody's mean to you, whatever the case may be. Eye contact, remain calm, all right? And say, are you okay? You seem really angry and upset today. And then just stay calm, keep looking at them, and don't say another word. Act confident, confused, okay? Cub Space Cowboy, Paula, what's your education behind high school? I have a bachelor's degree in political science. I have a master's degree in public administration. And I have 3 certifications from the prestigious Chopra Center. I studied under Deepak Chopra for almost 3 years. And one of my certifications is a total well-being life coach. The other one is an Ayurveda health specialist. And the third one is a meditation instructor. Okay, back to topic. Now, I know that it's challenging to remain calm when people are coming after you, but it can be done. I also know there's a lot of anxiety that can be involved, and that's why I'm giving you these tools now so you can practice and get prepared before you encounter these problematic people. When you do it one time successfully, one time, you have broken a cycle. And when you break that cycle, it makes you less susceptible to abuse. Because these people didn't get the reaction that they'd always gotten out of you. They didn't get what they wanted. You made them uncomfortable. And that's unfamiliar territory for abusers. That means they're going to no longer be comfortable with treating you like shit. Because you have broken a cycle, which is going to make them think twice before they come after you. Okay? Now, the key is to practice daily leading up to your event. Go over potential scenarios in your head. See yourself winning, walking away with grace, and people being baffled and intimidated by your power and your confidence. You show them who's boss. Now, when you adopt this way of living and it becomes your mode of operation, you start attracting more of what you want. Your life just overall starts to get better because you've claimed that power. You're better than that. You say, "Oh, I'm better than that. I'm not doing this. I'm not." It's a game changer. It's a total, complete game changer. Turn the tables on these people. Take away their power. Balance the books. Show them who's boss. They need a freaking reminder. And once you get this tough work out of the way, your life will be way more enjoyable, and you'll reprogram that meaning-making algorithm to one that serves you better, okay? All right, so let's open it up for questions and comments. Let's see what we got here. I'm in Prospect, Kentucky, by the way. Where's everybody else? I wish you would let me know in the comments. I love knowing where everybody is. So if I missed your question a little bit ago, please ask again. Oh, we got someone from Lexington. Indigo, Lexington. So that's about an hour and a half down the road from me. Indiana, well, the Ohio River's in my backyard. I'm actually as close to Indiana as I am Kentucky. Florida, Michigan, Maryland, Pennsylvania. Cool. Ashland, Kentucky. Okay. Texas. Okay. Anybody have any questions? I enjoy you so much. Big fan on Mississippi Gulf Coast. Oh, thank you, Sacred Path Warrior. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love doing what I do, and I wouldn't be able to do it if I didn't have anybody to teach. Bunman, where are you from? Sorry if I missed it. I live in Prospect, Kentucky, but I grew up in the eastern part of the state, in Lexington, Kentucky, in Madison County. Paula, when are you going to let me see our kids? That's our question. Blake Nelson. You got the wrong lady. I never had any biological kids. I got a bunch from Oklahoma. Carly, you can ask whatever you want to if you've been listening this whole time. You might have a question about something I said or dealing with a tough family member. Clyde, Phoenix, Arizona. How do you keep your energy level up when not feeling well? By the way, I have your book audio. I know, and I thank you so much for it. I don't know what's going on with those drones, y'all. I really don't. This is another question that came in. So keeping your energy levels up, it's an all day, day-to-day, full-time job. It's something that I work on every single day. And the repetition of doing that produces cumulative effects. It's kind of like exercise when you're working to keep your energy levels high. The more you do it, the more the benefits. And so the more you do it, what happens is you build emotional intelligence. I mean, you strengthen your emotional intelligence and you become more emotionally resilient. And when you get to that point, it's way less likely to bottom out, energetically speaking, or let things get to you, or react to everything, okay? And the way that I keep my energy levels up is through meditation. I meditate twice daily. I use primordial sound meditation. I am a primordial sound meditation instructor. If you're ever interested in learning primordial sound meditation, you can always go to my website and contact me at paulaswope.com. So I meditate, I do breath work, and Clyde's talking about pain issues here. This is all intertwined, all right? When you do energy work, you're meditating, you're doing breath work, just those two things as examples. There are a lot of energy work out there that you can do. You reduce the inflammation in your body. Okay, that's seriously important, because inflammation is at the root cause of every disease, nearly every disease known to man. And so when you are reducing inflammation in your body, then you're going to get some pain relief. If you've been in chronic pain, the inflammation irritates that, causes it. If you don't reduce the inflammation in your body, then it will eventually manifest into a physical sickness, a condition, a disease, a chronic pain, all sorts of those things that you don't want. And so that's how I keep my energy levels high. And that is also how, I don't struggle with chronic pain like I used to either. Also, I'm asymptomatic from this rare condition called interstitial cystitis, and it's because I reduced so much inflammation in my body. And so the energy work serves a lot of different purposes for sure. Josh Salisbury, thank you, universe, for bringing me here. Well, I'm glad you're here, that's for sure. What energy do you heal? Well, it's top to bottom. Can you speak more to how LOA plays out in practicing the conflictual scenario? Okay, the energy work, I'll go back to that question and then I'll talk about LOA. So energy work is, it's your entire physiology, okay? Usually, if you are living in a space where, let's just say, your most dominant feelings are anger, resentment, hatred, jealousy, sadness, guilt, shame. Okay, those are like really low vibrational frequencies. And this is also tied into the question about the law of attraction, which I refer to as, I prefer conscious creation, because social media has kind of made the law of attraction and manifestation a little gimmicky, and it's not. It's like timeless classic work. It's real. And this is why it's real. I'm going to tell you right now about energetic frequencies. If you're at that level, if you're vibrating at that level of those low vibe feelings, and I'm talking, this is day in and day out, for extended periods of time, months, years, you don't feel well, you're pissed off, you're hurt, you're angry. All right, like attracts like. That will never change. Like attracts like. And where people get this really confused with this manifestation stuff, they get really confused. You attract how you feel. That's just the way it is. And if you're living, from a place of hatred and anger, and you're pissed off all the time, and you're fighting with people all the time, arguing with people, and it's constant drama and chaos and turmoil, and you just don't know what peace is, then you're going to attract more of that, because you're like a magnet. You're like a magnet to those frequencies. Like attracts like. When you do the energy work, when you start reversing your subconscious beliefs, which control 90-something% of your behaviors, by the way. Start reversing your subconscious beliefs. Start reprogramming your brain to believe the good over the bad. And if you don't know this, we are hardwired towards negativity bias. We are more likely to believe something bad over something good. And this takes some work, okay? But you start reprogramming your brain, believe the good over the bad, start telling your subconscious a different story, a story that serves you well. You start meditating, maybe doing some breath work, doing some things to reduce the inflammation in your body. Go to the silence, get out of constant noise and activity all the time. Start to unlock your inner wisdom, enhance your intuition. When you start doing those types of energy work, it elevates your frequency. You start to vibe higher. You're more peaceful. Your life isn't as chaotic. The way that the law of attraction, LOA, someone asked about LOA, the way that LOA responds to chaotic energy is you're matched with other chaotic things. You don't want that. Anything that resembles chaos, I don't know if anybody would deliberately choose that over peace. And the energy work is carried out to get you to a place of sustainable peace. Even when the shit hits the fan, you magically stay peaceful. Like you have an easy, peaceful feeling. Okay? That's what energy work is for. Okay? Did I answer that? Did I answer your question? I wish I could get my daughter to read your book. Does she like to read? Just curious. Because my book is not your typical, you've read it, you know. I mean, it's not your typical self-help, self-empowerment book. I mean, most of those books, although I never ever downplay the power of a self-help book, because if you don't have any money, no support, resources, period, you can get a self-help book and get the help that you need. Self-help books changed my life, so I don't underestimate their power. But mine, some of them aren't very entertaining. Some of them I've read are kind of like watching paint dry. But this is my book right here, Thought Snob, The Modern Spiritual Playbook for a Better Life. It's available on Amazon in 3 formats: paperback, Kindle, and audiobook. And it's just not your typical self-empowerment book. When I set out to pursue my life purpose and write a book, she tends to snub her nose at what you suggest. Oh, well, how old is she? Is she a teenager? But when I set out on this new career path in 2021 and started the business that I have now, I said, when I write a self-empowerment book, I'm going to keep my younger self in mind. And although it's going to go deep and it's going to take people into uncharted territory, which is their soul, I'm going to make this book entertaining. It's going to be relatable, and it's going to be funny. And I'm going to be so incredibly human and truthful and vulnerable that it's going to be an easy read and an unexpected breath of fresh air, even though you are touching on some pretty heavy topics, forgiveness and possessing empathy for people who don't give a damn, and working through your shit. I mean, emotional release, trauma release. I mean, the book takes you through the entire journey. But right when it starts to get deep, I make you laugh. And when you can laugh, you are 50,000 steps ahead of the game, of the problem, whatever might be going on in your life. So, sacred pets, definitely. I enjoyed every moment of the book. Oh, good. I laughed and it forced me to think deep. Good. Is there a version of your book for the LGBT community? There isn't a version of my book, no. But for the most part, I'd say 90% of the book, the language is gender neutral. And I am, heterosexual female. And when I talk about relationships in the book, I do talk about intimate relationships through a heterosexual perspective, but the concepts in the book are applicable to anyone. I mean, no matter who you are, where you're from, it doesn't matter. So I hope that helps. I'm definitely going to buy it to read. Good. Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you. And Clyde says, I've been working with Clyde for a while. Love Clyde. Clyde says, I'm gay and it's relatable. Yeah. So the concepts of my book are, it's emotional intelligence, mindful awareness, conscious creation. These are timeless classic concepts that work. They are backed by science. It doesn't matter what color you are, where you're from, what your upbringing was, your gender. It does not matter your socioeconomic status. It does not matter how you identify. The concepts are overarching, and they are not for one person or another. They're for everybody. They're for everybody. You know why? Because all of us have a conscious mind, a subconscious mind, and an unconscious mind. All of us have that. It doesn't matter if you're purple. Doesn't matter. You have it. And my book appeals to that, not necessarily just the, human being in this, physical form. It's your soul. Thank you all so much for all these comments about my book. Thank you. I've worked my butt off promoting this book since it came out. It debuted in August, so it's only been out a few months. All right, so have I skipped over anybody? I thought I saw a question a minute ago. I'm happy to answer that. We've got a few more minutes together if you've got some questions. And somebody mentioned, made reference to the drones earlier. I don't know what the hell's going on with those. Bye, Clyde. See you later. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with all that. And I don't watch the news, like, at all. Because I really seriously know that the news is designed to cause worry, and worrying is the exact same thing as praying for what you don't want. If you think about it, have you ever turned on the news and listened to it for 5 or 10 minutes and felt better? I'm going to say probably not. So I don't mess with the news. I don't exactly know what's going on with those drones. 8-Ball, you're absolutely correct. Brenda, amen. Thank you. Yes, screw the news. I read headlines from the New York Times. I feel like that those are mostly factual, and if a headline, it seems like it's something I really need to know about, then I'll read the story, but that's rare. So I don't really know about that. There was an episode in Wisconsin a few days ago at a school, and I don't really know what I'm allowed to say on TikTok Live anymore, but it was an unfortunate situation at a school, and 3 people were unalived, and that just seems to be buried for whatever reason in the news. So he says, pretty wild week, to be honest. You guys are probably gonna have to fill me in. I don't really know everything that's going on in the news. I deliberately don't watch the news. Now, I will tell you, I have gotten a little bit sucked in with all of this stuff about Diddy. Jeez. And it's not just like because I want to gossip or get in on the celebrity drama. I just cannot believe that somebody could carry out all the things that he supposedly did for so long. Oh my God. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. And I also don't know how a human being can get that disconnected from their soul either. It's bizarre. It's just absolutely bizarre. But what's even more bizarre is Cat Williams kind of predicted all this, which is hilarious. I mean, I'm a huge fan. It's just, who would have ever thought all of this would have come to fruition? Mara, it's all of them. Are you talking about the situation with Diddy? Because the consensus is This is a very large group of people. How many times has Cat Williams joined the county jail in Atlanta? I think he's been quite a few times. Doesn't mean he's not a damn genius. Yes, Holly Weird. Yeah, God, it's so disappointing. It's so disappointing that all of that actually goes on. Jesus. It doesn't appeal to me at all. So, anybody else have any more questions? And I saw somebody comment, what is Christmas abuse? I think they saw the title. Oh, yes. Indigo. Yes. Yeah, I think you're probably right. But yeah, okay. So what I talked about today was not accepting abuse just because it's Christmas. That's what the whole Thought Snob Live has been about today, to give you tools and resources and information and some mindful awareness techniques to help you stop the cycle of abuse with the toxic people during the holidays. Because, you know, you come into contact with people that you don't see all year at the holidays, and that's why I chose this time to dedicate my show today to that topic. Although everything I've said today applies to every day of the week, not just the holidays. It's just the holidays can be a little more challenging for us. So, and if you joined in late and you missed part of the workshop, don't worry about it. I'm going to post this whole video on my YouTube channel, and all of my links are in my link tree here on my profile. My name is Paula Swope, and I'm easy to find. What she's trying to say is nobody real rage, a lot of crazy people out there. I don't know if I fully understand I think I understand what you mean, but I don't know. Okay, well, if no one has any more questions, I will close out. Fugly Duckling, I love that name. Thank you for your insight. You are very welcome. Indigo, the astrology is contributing to the cray-cray. Okay, real quick. I recently just started digging deeper into astrology. Like, I've always been curious and fascinated by it, because I do think, oh, thank you, Brenda. I do think that astrology can be used as a tool to guide us, maybe make good decisions, maybe predict some stuff. Of course, our free will, in my opinion, is stronger than anything out there, but astrology. So this recent Mercury retrograde that just ended like on Sunday or something with the full moon, and I really am not informed about this or even educated enough about this astrological event to even talk about what that means with the retrograde or anything, but I will tell you, I had some of the craziest dreams. And I heard I saw some other videos of people talking about that. Astrologers were talking about that, about expect to have crazy dreams. And I did for 3 or 4 days in a row. And there's no way that those dreams really could have carried any real significant meaning. I don't know. I should have wrote them down so I remember everything, but they were so stupid. Indigo, it's a layer of being self-aware and understanding group consciousness. I was trying to steal a car. Hypothetical. If I was trying to steal a car, which I don't need to. Okay, I'm not fully understanding that. All right, guys. I'm gonna close out. Unless someone has another question that I can answer Indigo, you could have been getting messages from your higher self in those dreams. They were so stupid. Like, they were so stupid. I have this recurring dream about, I can't believe I'm going to tell this, about getting back together with Blake Shelton, like the country music singer, Blake Shelton. And those dreams are so stupid. They don't make any sense. And it's like I'm always like back on tour with him. And one of those dreams popped up during the Mercury retrograde. It's stupid, 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 stupid. Heath, do you think social media overcomplicates the LOA? I do very strongly. Yes. And not only is the law of attraction overcomplicated, but it's also been turned into something gimmicky, trendy, something that not everybody has access to. You got to do X, Y, and Z and to make it happen in a day or a week or something. And no, that's not how this goes. It's not how this works at all. And if you want to know more about it, my whole life is dedicated to talking about this. I mean, I've got my whole book. Hang on, TikTok's making me do the little puzzle dragging. There we go. What? Okay. Hang on. There we go. But law of attraction, one of the overarching themes in my book, it teaches you the absolute fundamental basics. Thought Snob, the modern spiritual playbook for a better life. I have so many videos about the law of attraction here on my profile, my website, paulaswope.com. You can go there. I have a podcast, the Thought Snob podcast. So many experts. They're all vetted, educated to the max. They talk about conscious creation, the spiritual laws. There's a wealth of knowledge out there with all of my resources, and most of them are free. It doesn't cost a penny to watch my videos, listen to my podcast. You can go on my website. That doesn't cost any money. There are free resources out there. Of course, I have paid services as well. It's just how far you want to take it. But yes, social media has absolutely overcomplicated LOA. Yeah, they made it very, very, very confusing. Yes. Okay, everybody. It's now past time. I've loved being with you here today. Thank you so much for joining me. As soon as TikTok makes this video available, I will put it on my YouTube channel. And just so you know, this is Thought Snob Live. I'm here every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this show is dedicated to non-traditional pathways to success and out of the ordinary ways of living. And I hope you've enjoyed everything today. Stay strong during the holidays. Don't take no bullshit. And show those people who's boss, okay? All right. See you next week. Thank you so much.